Sarawak Day message, Head of State called Sarawakians to celebrate unity in diversity, while Premier urged Sarawakians to honour past sacrifices for future prosperity. Those are the headlines for tonight. Salam Sarawak Maju Makmur. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and you're watching TVS Nightline. Head of State Tun Pehin Sri Abdul TAIB Mahmud calls upon Sarawakians to celebrate their unity in diversity and to remain united in peace and harmony. In his Sarawak Day 2023 message, TAIB expressed his confidence that Sarawak under the leadership of Premier Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg will be even more prosperous and developed following the implementation of the Comprehensive Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy PCDS 2030. He also urged Sarawakians to appreciate and commemorate the struggles of our forefathers to develop the state into what it is today. The sacrifices of our past leaders have opened the way for Sarawak to govern itself and dictate its own future. In a souvenir book message in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence, Premier Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said in the 60 years that Sarawak was given the power to govern itself, the spirit of making the most of its freedom has never waned, as it is even stronger now through the efforts of today's leaders and the support of the people in Sarawak. According to Abang Johari, the 60 years since independence was an era of making sure that the freedom attained was something to Sarawak and its people. He said the government under the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS has set a clear path towards becoming a high-income state by 2030 through the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030, with core tenets of economic prosperity, social inclusivity, and environmental sustainability. Abang Johari said Sarawak's success is evident when in contrast to other states in Malaysia as well as other regions in Southeast Asia. With Sarawak's recent venture into new economic resources such as hydrogen economy, sustainable aviation fuel from algae, and the new carbon trade and capture. Hence, he urged for Sarawakians to strengthen its unity, as sustainable economic growth can only be achieved in a peaceful and harmonious society and in a stable political landscape. Sarawak is committed to continue the legacy of past leaders and strengthening unity in the state. Premier Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, in his text speech read by Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ukahambas, said the establishment of the Unit for Other Religions UNIFOR is a state initiative to ensure its aspiration can be felt among Sarawakian youths.
Social inclusivity is one of the three pillars of my administration to bring Sarawak into a developed and high-income region by 2030. Whatever development and socio-economic program and plan we have, we will ensure they will benefit everyone, everywhere in Sarawak.
He said this in his speech at the Thanksgiving prayer ceremony in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence on Friday. Also present was Sarawak Deputy Premier Dr. Sim Gui Hian, Sarawak Deputy Minister of Utilities and Telecommunication Datuk Lee Wan Lagang, who is also Minister in charge of the 2023 Thanksgiving prayer ceremony for the Unit of Other Religions. According to him, the establishment of UNIFOR was a notable example of the social inclusivity in Sarawak.
The Sarawak government has been granted the authority to issue permits and vessel licenses directly without the need to refer to the Malaysian Fisheries Department in Putrajaya. Deputy Premier Sarawak Dr. Amar Douglas Ugambas revealed that Putrajaya has agreed to grant the authority to the Director of the Sarawak Marine Fisheries Department to handle the approval of all permits and vessel licenses for fishing and equipment in zones B and C.
Previously, he said the federal government allowed Sarawak to issue licenses for deep-sea fishing, but it was limited only to Zone C2.
Kita juga minta persekutuan memberi kuasa untuk menentukan persepadanan antara perairan laut dan perairan darat. Because Sarawak now is very confusing, so we want to have a very clear authority so that it can clearly define, easy for the enforcement agency to carry out their work.
Furthermore, Uga said that determining the demarcation is to avoid overlapping areas and powers among state agencies, including the Sarawak Agriculture Department, Sarawak Rivers Board, and Land and Survey Department. As for federal agencies, they include the Sarawak Marine Fisheries Department, Malaysia Fisheries Development Authority, Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency, Malaysia Marine Police, and other enforcement agencies. At the same time, Uga announced that the change of status for Bintulu Port from a federal port to a state port is expected to be completed within a month after the implementation of MA63 Action Committee agrees on the establishment of a committee to handle the issue.
Now there is a subcommittee being tasked, headed by the Minister in charge of Sabah and Sarawak. We have to come up with a proposal to the technical committee for the technical committee to present to the main committee of MA63. We are confident actually that this issue, the proposal can be worked out within a month so that this issue can have some finality later on.
The committee is also composed of representatives from the Ministry of Transport and the Sarawak Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Ports.
The proposal to designate two hospitals in Sarawak as regional hospitals is part of the government's agenda, as stated in the Malaysia Agreement 1963. Deputy Health Minister Lukanisman Awang Sauni announced that the hospitals to be designated are Miri Hospital and Sibu Hospital.
Lukanisman explained that the Sarawak government will table the proposal to the Ministry of Health through the MA63 committee. At the same time, the MOH is evaluating any inadequacies and additional staff requirements of Sibu Hospital, especially in terms of expertise.
Dan juga kita sedang menunggu kedatangan doktor-doktor yang baru yang mendapatkan penempatan pertama selepas tamat kontrak ataupun digantikan dengan penjawatan tetap yang akan tiba sekurang-kurangnya 31 Julai. Dan di situ kita akan lihat di manakah kekurangan dan juga kelebihan yang ada dari sudut penjawatan.
The MOH is also committed to solving the shortage of experts, especially expert opticians in Sibu Hospital. In the meantime, his ministry acknowledged the urgent need to establish a new clinic and upgrade existing clinics in the area specifically for Class 3 clinics.
Ini saya telah minta Pegawai Kesihatan Bahagian untuk berbincang dengan pihak Land Survey dan juga Kerajaan Sarawak untuk melihat kesesuaian tapak tanah sebelum pihak KKM mengangkat cadangan ini. Kita turut meninjau keperluan-keperluan seperti peralatan aset-aset dan juga apabila kita memohon keperluan aset ini bukan hanya peralatan yang perlu kami sediakan tetapi mesti datang bersekali dengan penjawatan.
Lukanisman was met after a work visit to the Sibu Hospital on Thursday. During the work visit, he surveyed Medan Sibu Hospital, which became a model for Kuching and Miri divisions, especially when it came to handling the congestion brought about by COVID-19.
Efforts are underway to refloat the capsized cargo vessel, the MV Tung Sung, which was capsized near the waters of Pulau Burong in Sibuya on Wednesday. Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency Sarawak Director First Admiral Zin Ahmad Muhammad Yunus said the refloating process is the best option to locate all 8 missing crew, and it will be carried out by the shipping company.
Dan proses untuk melakukan pengampungan ini memerlukan tempoh yang agak lama ya. Sebab proses dia untuk mendapatkan kapal, kren dan juga tenaga penyelam yang pakar mahir untuk melakukan kerja-kerja penyelaman dan juga membuat persediaan untuk melakukan pengampungan. So, kita jangkakan proses ini akan mengambil masa. Namun, kejayaannya pasti dapat membantu agensi penyelamat ya untuk mengesan mangsa-mangsa tersebut.
He was met by reporters at the Operations Control Center at Sibuya Jetty on Friday. He added the salvage operation must be done in an orderly and professional manner, and the flotation works will be stopped if the weather is bad for safety purposes. The ship is now stranded in murky waters, about 50 meters deep. Based on the latest information, only 8 crew members were identified to be aboard when the ship started its voyage, after the company confirmed that one of the crew members did not board the ship. Upon initial assessment, it was suspected that foul weather and high waves on the night of the incident saw the ship keeling over quickly, rendering the crew unable to take any action to seek help.
Coming up right after the break, we'll take a look at the preparation of Sarawak's 60th year of independence, a massive rally on final day of Cambodia's election campaign. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. As part of the momentous celebration of Sarawak's 60 years of independence, 70 parade contingents will be coming together to form a striking 60 formation. According to the coordinator of the Sarawak Merdeka 60th celebration ground event, Abang Muhammad Hadi Sapi, 3 weeks of intensive training was carried out in order to achieve the impressive formation.
Dan latihan gabungan adalah selama 3 minggu berturut-turut. Jadi untuk benda yang untuk persembahan yang kami bagi pada acara ini, dia bukan benda yang mudah. Dia nampak simple, tapi untuk menghimpunkan semua orang dalam satu persembahan tu dia bukan mudah lah. Jadi dia tak mudah lah. Tapi dengan bantuan daripada Angkatan Tentera Malaysia, Majlis Seni Sarawak dapat merealisasikan formasi 6 dan 0 itu supaya kita dapat tunjukkan di negeri Sarawak ni yang kita ingin merayakan dan kita ingin meraihkan bersama 60 tahun Sarawak Merdeka itulah.
Abang Hadi explained that the grand golden formation was inspired by the logo of Sarawak's 60th independence. The performance is aimed at uniting and celebrating the richness of Sarawak's cultural diversity and prosperity. Several organizations collaborated with the Sarawak's Arts Council, MSS, including the State Department of Culture and Arts, Dayak Cultural Foundation, Kuching Polytechnic, Henry Gurney School Puncak Borneo, Tun Abang Haji Openg National Secondary School, Encik Buyong National Primary School, cultural groups, MSS coaching assistants, and volunteers.
Tomorrow, Sarawak celebrates its 60th anniversary of independence and the atmosphere is electric. Anticipation and glee are high in the air of the Padang Merdeka as the full dress rehearsal for its morning parade ended with success on Thursday, July 20th. Here's what the excited and fired up participants have to say.
For the head of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Urban Development Contingent, Howard Fad, he shares his view of Sarawak's development being in his 40s.
Seperti yang kita maklum, kita pun kerajaan di Sarawak telah menyambut Hari Sarawak Merdeka yang ke-60 tahun. Jadi kita telah diberi persembahan daripada selama 60 tahunnya lah, daripada tahun 60-an sampai 90-an. Jadi untuk kementerian dengan nama singkatan yang modern diberi tugasan retro 60-an. Jadi kami begitu menggayakan retro 60-an modern lah. Jadi kemudian kami bergabung modern dengan Melayu tradisional lah. Bagi kami kemerdekaan Sarawak yang ke-60 tahun itu sebagai kami sendiri yang berusia 40-an. Jadi telah menangga pembangunan lah dari Sarawak itu daripada zaman kami lahir, zaman 70-an sampai kini itu telah maju lah daripada infrastruktur utamanya kini itu zaman digital teknologi. Jadi semua majulah, kita punya macam IT, digital ekonomi, pada hari ini kita lagi angkutan awam, selama lagi kita ada KRT. Jadi untuk semua warga Sarawak, jangan lupa datang ke perayaan Sarawak Maju Makmur 60 tahun Merdeka. Kita sama meramikan di Padang Merdeka pada 22 Julai itu. Come on, rakyat Sarawak. Let's Sarawak Maju Makmur.
For another participant, Sylvester Ogang, he explains the theme of going retro for the state parade inspired by fashion of the 60s.
Saya mewakili kontingen daripada Kementerian Sumber Asli dan Pembangunan Bandar Sarawak. Dan pada tahun ini, sempena 60 tahun Sarawak Merdeka, kami menggayakan bertemakan 60 tahun, menggayakan tema 60-an. Dan sudah pastinya memberi satu perasaan yang dalam tempoh 60 tahun kita sudah mencapai kemerdekaan. Banyak perubahan-perubahan yang telah berlaku di negeri Sarawak amnya, dan kita melihat pembangunan yang begitu pesat di bawah pimpinan kerajaan yang ada sekarang. Dan saya percaya rakyat Sarawak juga telah menikmati satu transformasi dalam pembangunan negeri Sarawak. Dan sempena 60 tahun Sarawak Merdeka, saya percaya semua rakyat Sarawak rasa teruja untuk menyambut bersama-sama di Padang Merdeka ini, dan dapat melihat bagaimana keharmonian masyarakat di negeri Sarawak di dalam bersama-sama membangunkan negeri Sarawak. Dan saya percaya negeri Sarawak akan terus makmur dan akan lebih maju ke hadapan, dan juga masyarakat yang semakin sedar akan pembangunan yang ada di negeri Sarawak dan juga hidup harmoni.
Meanwhile, for youth, Irfan Nasrullah, a volunteer in the technical team, he hopes Sarawakian youths of tomorrow will fulfill the aspirations of Sarawak's development.
Ya, jadi sebagai daripada aspek saya sendiri itu sebagai seorang muda, apa yang saya lihat Sarawak pada masa sekarang telah mencapai 60 tahun kemerdekaan, which is Sarawak telah mencapai pelbagai pencapaian dan juga ada banyak perkara yang harus rakyat Sarawak banggakan. Itu hasil daripada pemimpin-pemimpin negeri kita sendiri. Jadi saya sebagai belia Sarawak berbangga menjadi anak Sarawak sebab pencapaian yang berada di negeri kita ini adalah sangat membanggakan, sehinggakan dia menjadi sebutan lah antara negeri-negeri lain yang berada di dalam Malaysia ini. Jadi bersempena dengan perayaan 60 tahun Sarawak Merdeka, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat ulang tahun ke-60 kepada negeri Sarawak, dan saya harap pada masa akan datang itu penglibatan daripada golongan belia itu sendiri semakin banyak diketengahkan, dan juga saya harap golongan belia yang berada di luar sana untuk ambil peluang ini, take the opportunity untuk mengetengahkan diri anda dan juga untuk memastikan diri anda bersedia pada aspek masa depan. Sebab kita tahu yang golongan belia ini merupakan peneraju ataupun pengganti pada masa akan datang.
Now moving on to global affairs. The ruling Cambodian People's Party on Friday held a massive rally to mark the end of a 3-week campaign for the general election, which is set to take place on Sunday, July 23rd. Tens of thousands of supporters showed up in support of Cambodia's Prime Minister's eldest son, Hun Manet, who is set to succeed his father as the future Prime Minister candidate in an election that has been criticized as one-sided.
The political debut of 45-year-old Hun Manet marks one of the final steps in a decades-long grooming process that is expected to end with him succeeding his father Hun Sen as Cambodia's Prime Minister. To become Prime Minister, Hun Manet needs to be a member of the National Assembly, which he will do if he wins a seat on Sunday and receive approval from the king. While it is unclear when the transition will happen, some analysts suspect that Sunday's election will be Hun Sen's last. In 2021, Hun Sen named his eldest as his choice to succeed him as leader, and his long-ruling Cambodia People's Party soon endorsed him as future Prime Minister. For some, Hun Manet represents a young, fresh face who will further develop Cambodia, but others question the legitimacy of the upcoming election.
ចឹងវត្តមានគណៈបកភ្លើងទៀននៅក្នុងការបោះឆ្នោតនេះមានសារៈសំខាន់ណាស់ហើយឥឡូវយើងអាចនិយាយថាការបោះឆ្នោតនឹងវាល្អប្រសើរទេលោកលេខមើលទៅក្នុងកំឡុងពេលយុទ្ធនាការឃើញហើយប្រជាពលរដ្ឋក៏លោកបានយល់ដែរដោយសារអីភាពសោះកក្រោះនៅក្នុងដំណើរការឃោសនាបោះឆ្នោតខុសប្លែកពីពេលមុនដែលមានគណៈបកប្រឆាំង
At the last election in 2018, Hun Sen's political party won all of the 125-member parliamentary seats in the lower house, having scored 4.8 million votes out of the 6.9 million votes cast.
Rescue teams resumed a search on Friday for possible survivors of a massive landslide in western India that killed 16 people and feared to have trapped more than 100 others. Land gave way in the middle of Thursday night in a remote mountain hamlet of Irshalwadi in the state of Maharashtra, flattening several houses and trapping many who lived there.
Rescue teams wearing bright orange raincoats and carrying digging tools arrived at the scene on Friday as thick fog and heavy rain hampered already difficult rescue efforts.
जो एक बड़ी दुखद घटना हुई है वो बनी में हमारे क्योंकि भारी बरसात थी उसके कारण बहुत सारे मल्टीपल लोकेशन पे लैंडस्लाइड हुए हैं और कई जगह पे ज़मीन भी धंसी है पानी के कारण। इन लैंडस्लाइड्स में जो कंफर्म रिपोर्ट है 5 लोगों की मौत हुई है।
Multiple landslides also occurred in the state of Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday, July 19, according to Rakesh Minhas, the district collector of Kathua, where a bridge was damaged, causing severe disruptions to traffic. Flash floods, landslides and accidents caused by heavy rain have killed more than 100 people in India since the onset of the monsoon season on June 1, mostly in the north, which has been 41% more rain than normal, according to the India Meteorological Department.
First Nation communities of Canada have raised a move to go against Ontario's government decision that will enable mining at a protected area known as the Ring of Fire, without proper consultation over environmental concerns and potential land encroachment by mining companies. About 100 protesters marched outside the building of Ontario's building of Ministry of Mines with placards showing "No more mining."
The fact that they're planning and they're doing these things without our consent, without our full involvement of our people, then that's very problematic. And it's clear that this demonstration of their approach clearly indicates that they're not willing to respect our rights. They're not willing to respect the rights of our people back home. And I think the people will stand up. And this is a start of what we're trying to do here, to raise awareness about what's been happening in our homelands. We intend to continue to fight and to make sure that our traditional homelands are protected, not just for today, but for future generations.
The area, located in northern Ontario at a remote area of James Bay lowlands, is rich with minerals such as copper, cobalt and nickel that are considered critical for Canada to reduce its metal reliance on China as the country aspires to construct greener projects for a more sustainable economy. Last year, the Ontario government threatened to use force by wrecking Indigenous lands if resistance persists, which has triggered more protests. The next one is set to take place in September.
The government is using climate change and environmental protection as an excuse to mine on Indigenous territories for precious metals. And I think that it's important we all come out and show support for Indigenous peoples having a say about their own land and their own territory. I am very concerned about, in general, the Canadian government not doing anything, and they don't have a great track record of respecting Indigenous rights. So I think that instead of empty words, we need strong action as soon as possible.
In conjunction with Sarawak's 60th year of independence, don't forget to catch the live telecast of the Sarawak Day 2023 celebration tomorrow, Saturday, July 22nd, beginning with a grand parade at 7:30 a.m. and ending with a star-studded concert in the evening at 8:30 p.m. And that's all for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.